Hi everyone, it's Nicola Burton from The Musicreal and The Music Means Business. I've got Manny from Pushworth with me today and a very special guest, Mr. Joel Turner down below. Hi Joel, how are you?
I'm good.
I knew you were going to do that. Listen,
I'm so good. I decided to wear my Super Nintendo hat just to reminisce on the. Look at that. Reminisce on the 90s.
Wow.
They don't
So
make
cool.
They don't make gaming consoles like that anymore.
No. Joel, I've read your Wikipedia. I've never read it before. My goodness, what accolades you have. You started at what, 16? Was it 16 when you went on Australian Idol?
Yeah, like I was starting to get known locally before that because I was like into the like local hip hop scene and stuff. So
Yeah.
I was starting to go to the battles and like kind of the underground scene, and like I was already known locally because I was beatboxing like with my bro and my cousin. We were already going around to different ciphers like rap battles and stuff at parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we were already doing recording, but yeah, 16 is when I finally got some like TV exposure and stuff. Yeah.
And created quite a sensation because at that time, no beatboxers had ever been on Idol. So you created quite a sensation, I believe. And then you did the final at the Opera House as well, didn't you?
Yeah, and that was crazy because after that, like even McDonald's started using beatboxers in their ads, and
I know.
and it wasn't like the mainstream thing in Australia before that. Only kind of hip hop heads knew about it.
Oh, it's just so great what you've done for that industry. I mean, you've done 2 albums. You've done, how many singles have you done? 10? About 10?
Yeah, quite a few. There was 4 main singles off the first album, and then I think 2 singles off the second, and then I've featured on some other tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, and These Kids was
so about 8. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think These Kids it just made such an impact. Great track even now. So I guess we'd like to know, number one, like there's been no gigs since March. So how have you been faring in lockdown?
Oh, I'm turning into Smeagol from Lord of the Rings. That guy, like, my precious. I'm locked in a cave. It's horrible. No. Yeah, it has been a bit, like, I was a bit disappointed because I had, like, a few gigs coming up and I was excited for those, and then it was like, boom. You know, now we've got to hand sanitize everywhere we go. But, yeah, no, I've just tried to stay remaining positive and let, you know, nature take its course. I know Australia's doing pretty well because, you know, we locked down pretty early and we've been, well, for the most part, following the social distancing and that. So, you know, our cases are a lot less than Italy, and, you know, yeah, so that's, we seem to be doing okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can keep that going, and everyone, you know, uses some common sense, and then we can get back to, and then we can, I'm hoping, and, you know, at least the venues, you know, within reason start opening up in the next 6 months or even earlier, but that's out of my control, you know, so.
Exactly. And what I want to mention here right now is if you take your cap off.
Yeah.
Maddie and I have got terrible quarantine hair, but yours is fantastic.
Yes.
So
it's well groomed.
Oh, look at that.
Look at yours.
Well,
look at the shine, the light. Yeah.
That's special. That is very special there.
I think that's the key.
The quarantine, I did it just for quarantine because it doesn't get caught in the hair. It just bounces off.
Exactly.
The coronavirus goes boing, and then
see, it's for health.
I'm more aerodynamic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, look, I bought my cap just in case, Joel.
Oh, no.
Pardon me.
Oh, look out.
Don't do it.
I bought my cap just in case, mate.
Take it off, dude. It's such a dad thing.
Oh, mate. It's my homie G. Manny in the house.
That's it, brother. Hey, bro.
You're in the wrong profession, mate. You should have been a hip hop star.
Oh, look, I tried to beatbox over the phone the other week when I left you the message, and I'm not sure whether you got it, but how am I faring with my beatbox? I thought it was pretty average between you and me, but anyway. Joel, you've done this.
Oh, pretty good, man. Just a bit of work on the snare drums and you'll get there.
Thanks, man.
On the
Thanks, man. I need
yeah,
some
yeah,
tutoring.
yeah,
Look, I've got a question.
yeah,
I guess you've now seen, look, you've now been doing this, I would suggest nearly 17 approach, now the better part of 17 years now. So from when you started, I guess beatboxing and the urban scene where it's probably like in its infant stages. And you were trailblazing for a lot of Australian beatboxers here. So it was a very niche, a very small marketplace. From 17 years
yeah.
ago to where you are now, and noting without hyping it up too much, I think you held the title of World Beatbox Champion. Was it 3 years in a row? I think you retained that title. So having traversed the world and seeing the start of world beatboxing and real battles, how has it progressed over the last 17 years? Firstly, from an Australian point of view, from how you've seen it progress in Australia, but then on a global sphere, because your market was the global sphere and still is the global sphere. So how have you seen it progress?
Yeah, it's it's progressed really good. Like you're seeing more people using beatboxing in even in like viral videos. Like Big Doors TV did a thing where they were nerd beatboxers in the hood in Compton, dressing up like computer nerds and going and beatboxing for brothers in the hood. And they're like, "Oh shit, man!" Like spinning out on them beatboxing. So that was cool. And obviously, so it's getting more mainstream attention, kind of. But with also the battle scene has gotten a lot bigger. Like there's a lot more beatboxers now, and it's the scene. Like when I did it, there were 26 different countries in it. Now there's like I think more than 50 or something. So it yeah, it's good because they're doing something with it. And you're seeing a lot more. The battle scene's gotten bigger, and they've got like a more of an online presence.
Absolutely.
So especially like because when I came out, YouTube wasn't massive like it is now. Like it was just the starting of YouTube and stuff like that. Because I was out in 2004 through the like with that first stuff, and like now now everyone's on YouTube, so it's good because there's more of an outlet through social media to get yourself out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where before you had to have some TV exposure or radio and stuff like that. So now what you needed a whole rooms of equipment to do, a lot of people can do from their home.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. On a phone,
it's,
on a phone,
yeah,
or a computer,
yeah,
like what you're doing now is absolutely brilliant. It's a very exciting time, because as musicians, as you know, we're both musicians in a previous lifetime.
yeah,
At the start of our careers, it was all driven by a select few record companies that had the means of production. They did the deals, etc. So if you were released through that mechanism, you were generally guaranteed success. Now it's everyone's on the same level playing field. We've got the same access to the digital channels that we have to get access to a marketplace. So for me, that's the most exciting time. So
like Billie Eilish recorded her first album in a room on some equipment, and then they took it to a studio later on, but all the tracks were done in a home studio.
Brilliant.
Don't you love that?
We can do all that.
Now she's like one of the biggest stars.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear your next product. I just can't wait. I heard some of the original demos when Cliff was involved in the project, and there's some amazing material, and that was essentially, that process was basically you doing all the beat, everything came out of your mouth essentially, apart from the guitar,
and
bass, the drums.
Yeah.
That was incredible. I mean, that was just mine. I listened to it, and it was like, what a great recording. It was at a rough mix stage. The guitar was there, the bass was there, the drums, and then you imparted some wisdom and said, well, all this is my voice, apart from the guitar. And that was just mind-blowing. So it gives you the rough idea of the capabilities of Joel, and I just can't wait to hear the next proposition. So
when is that happening, Joel?
Yeah,
when's your next release?
Well, I've been postponed a little bit because of coronavirus. My friend's studio is on lockdown, and but I do have a few ideas and songs that I'm ready to get finished. But we're definitely getting something out this year, that's for sure.
Right.
Hopefully, I'd like to get it out before late this year, maybe July, August if we can. But if not, it will definitely be this year. So I've got a few things I'm working on, and you know, I've just started working out again from home and so I'm trying to get back into some sort of reasonable shape, you know, to get so I don't have a myocardial infarction while I'm on stage. But so I'm feeling good about this year. You know, regardless of everything that's going on. I mean, it's affecting all of us, you know, like everyone's feeling it. I see online a lot of people are psyching out and freaking out, but
that's right.
You know, I just, you know, trying to hold some faith in humanity that we'll all do the right thing, and
well said.
You know,
message. What's a message you want to send out to everyone in lockdown that's really struggling at the moment? Because we do know there's quite a few musicians, artists, and you know everybody suffers from isolation. What's a message you'd like to send to them all to relay their fears of what's happening at the moment?
Well, in the wise words of Joel Turner, I mean, well, no, it's affecting me too. You know, I suppose I freaked out a bit when my gigs were. I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? But it's actually, I'm actually getting through it, and I'm doing okay. So I think everyone just needs to have a bit of faith that, you know, our governments are trying to do the right thing to get us back to like with the lockdown laws and that, back to normal. So and the good news is that we're having less cases, less cases of death and less cases of the virus. So what has been implemented, I know that, you know, although everyone and their mum is making videos making fun of the government right now, but online, but you know, it seems whatever's happening seems to be working. So I just hope that people come together and you know, I'm trying to stay positive and watch, you know, because I get a bit of anxiety myself, so I'm trying to watch more positive stuff. I'd say hit the comedy instead of the end of the world gonna blow up type of material, you know.
Good message. Good message.
So I try not to watch negative media.
Yeah. That's probably because you can go down those rabbit holes. You know, we've all done that. So I think everyone from Joel, stay positive, watch some funny stuff, and really, like, we will get through this. And I think great message, Joel. Thank you. So look, we'll leave it there. God, he's putting his hat back on.
Keep it real, Joel.
Joel,
Keep it real, brother.
We can't wait to hear you.
Yo, Maddie's in the house.
Real,
all right. Thanks, Joel. Take care, and we'll see you when we're out of lockdown. Bye.
Yeah. Peace. Stay safe, everyone.
Bye.
Take care, Joel.